I'm about to do a video review of the X Pro theme. Hi, my name is Adam from WPCrafter.com, where I make videos for non-techies, and it's actually kind of dangerous to make this video. If you're not familiar with the X theme or the newly released X Theme Pro, I will tell you in advance, it's one of those themes, and it also comes with a page builder where you're going to have people that fall in one of two categories. Either they love it or they hate it. And I just wanted to show you this new theme in case you come across it, or in case you're considering maybe purchasing it and giving it a try. I'm going to walk you through some of the settings. I'll even share some of the things I like about it, and unfortunately I'll also share some of the things that I don't like about it, which will kind of set the idea in your head whether or not you think that it's going to be a good fit for you. Now, if you're not familiar with this theme, it's primarily sold here on ThemeForest. So I'm on ThemeForest's website right now, and I'm actually looking at the top sellers of the week. If you're not familiar with ThemeForest, they have this section where it's the top themes in terms of sales per week. It doesn't mean these themes are good, it just means they're selling a whole heck of a lot of copies. And you can see number 2 right here is called the X theme. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on into it. You can see they're making some money right there. It was almost 1,500 sales in a 7-day period, and it's primarily because they've reduced the cost. It's on a little bit of a sale. Normally, I think it's $60 or $63. Right now, it's on sale for $39. Now, this is a theme that was released maybe 3 years ago, and I was actually one of the people that bought it right when it came out. I saw that they were doing some interesting things. I made a purchase of it, and they just released version 5 over here on ThemeForest, but they're doing something really neat. They also have a professional version of this theme, and you can only buy that on their website. So if you're buying the version right here on ThemeForest, you're not getting the pro version, you're just getting the normal version. Now, what they do is they make it so you could just pay an upgrade fee, which is the difference of what you paid to purchase this initially, and they'll give you this pro license. Now, here is their website. So when you go to theme.co, you're going to see a link here that's going to take you to information on the normal X theme, and right here is going to be information on the pro version of it. And when you click on that right there, it's going to tell you some of the differences between the two. Essentially, the main difference in what has really got my attention is this new header and footer builder, and I'm going to show you that here in a moment. So essentially, with the pro version, you're going to be able to have all these tools to design custom headers, and that's typically where you're going to have your menu navigation and your logo and some maybe contact information. So that's your header, and then the footer's that little bit of space that's at the very bottom of every page. And the main thing in this pro version is the ability to have this whole set of tools to build a beautiful custom header. And I think with website design, the most neglected area is really the header and the footer, more so the header, because everyone's going to see your header. When someone comes to your website, the first thing they see is your header, and then they see the page content. So I am happy that they're making strides, at least trying to anyhow. I kind of think they missed the mark, but they're making strides in making it easy to design custom headers. Let me show you an example, and I don't know the person that made this website. They essentially used the X Pro theme, and they made a custom header, and they posted a link in the X theme Facebook group and said, what do you think of my header? I clicked on the link and I thought, this is a nice looking header. So here is their website. I hope they don't mind me putting this here, but they made this custom header. So you've got this area right here at the top where you've got the contact information. Then we have a logo, something in the middle, and some contact info here on the right. But then check this out. You have this really cool navigation with this nice little animation. And if you notice, the navigation is transparent, so there's like a nice layer over it and you can kind of see through it. And you can also scroll down. Let's see, they didn't make it sticky or anything like that, which is fine. But you can see this is a very custom header, and this really makes the design look like a custom designed website. Now, this is pretty awesome stuff right here, and it's actually a direction that a lot of other page builder companies are going in. So if you take a look at Beaver Builder, which is a alternative page building solution for WordPress that I talk a lot about here on my channel, they are building something that's going to allow you to do the same thing, but they're doing it a little differently. I should mention that when I start showing you how that works in the X theme. Now let me go back. So let's talk cost. You know that you can buy the normal version. It's on sale right now for $39, but it's going to be up to $60. So by the time you're watching this video, it might be $60 again. You come here, you scroll down, and we will see the price of the this Pro version. Let's see, does it even have a price? Anyways, it's $69. Oh, there it is. So it's $69, and you can purchase it directly here on their website. Now, what's different about them is, first of all, I will let you know that the X theme is not GPL licensed. If GPL matters to you, it's not GPL licensed. Second, when you purchase this, it comes with lifetime updates. I don't know if it comes with lifetime support, but it's only going to work on one website. So even though it is very affordable, it's only $69, you can only use it on one website. Literally, you can only use it on one website. You'll only get support and updates on one website. So when you compare this cost to, say, something, let's just take the Beaver Builder package at $199, and it comes with a theme and the page builder, but with that you can install it on as many websites as you want. Although at that cost, you also have to pay an annual renewal that keeps the Beaver Builder company going and keeps them making awesome stuff. So that's definitely something to think about, whether you are the end user and you want to maybe purchase this to build a website for yourself, or maybe you're a web development company and you're deciding which way to go in terms of the tools you're going to use to build websites for your clients. You can definitely factor that into your cost, but I'll touch a little bit more on that a little bit later. So, okay, here's a test website. I've already installed the X theme. When you download the Pro version, it's about 6 megabytes in size, but that doesn't include all the add-ons that you may choose to add on later. So it's a little heavier of a theme for sure. And I've already activated it with my license. So when you come in here, that's going to add this new option here that says X Pro. Now, I really like when you click on this, it gives you some information here, and I like the design of it. First of all, it lets you know the version that you have, the most latest version that is out, and the last time it checked for updates. So you can just, if you want to see if there's an update, click check now. Right before I made this video, there was an update available, and I already applied it to the website here. I also like right here, there's links to support, which is really good in the knowledge base, so it makes it really easy to know where to go for help. And when you scroll down a little bit right here, it's going to show you all these extensions that they have purchased rights to, or they include when you purchase this theme. And this is actually very powerful, and it's a very big money saver. So you've got some really good ones here. I'm not going to name them all, but I will say some of the really interesting ones, like Advanced Custom Fields Pro. We've got that right here. Convert Plug, that's a really good plugin for opt-ins. Okay, let's scroll down. Something about email forms. Enviro Gallery, that's one of the better gallery plugins. Essential Grid, it's kind of a bloated grid plugin. Google Analytics, I don't know what that does. Layer Slider, I know what that does, but I don't know what this add-on does, because it's real easy already to install Google Analytics. I don't think you need a plugin for that. We got Layer Slider, which I'm not a fan of sliders at all. We got Soliloquy, that's a slider plugin that's actually a little better than the others. Superfly, that's kind of cool. It's a plugin to add slide out menus to your website. let's see, the grid, type kit, okay, Uber menu, that's okay, I guess. I like this right here, white label. So if you're using X Pro or X for your client, you can then white label it so they might not know who developed it. I don't really think white label's that necessary in my mind, but I know a lot of people like to do that. And then here's some plugins that are free that they have some form of an integration with. So BBPress for a form, BuddyPress, I don't advise anyone to ever install BuddyPress, Contact Form 7, and WooCommerce. So that is it there. And the next option we have is this launch icon. That's actually the last thing I'm going to go into. But we have settings here, and this is where you can control which post types that the included page builder is going to work on. So let me just walk my comments back a little bit. There is a page builder called Cornerstone that Xtheme makes, and they include in this. It's just deeply integrated in this entire package. It's called Cornerstone. So this is saying which post types do you want to enable Cornerstone on. That's all that is. So these are really more settings for Cornerstone, the page builder. And I'm going to show you that just briefly, and I'll tell you how it compares to some of the other page builders. So just like any other theme, all their options are in the customizer. This is a plus, but it's also kind of a standard thing these days. If you're making a theme and your options aren't in the customizer, you're kind of not doing your customer a service. You're almost doing them a disservice. So I'm going to jump in the customizer and show you that you have controls for just about most of the theme settings in here, and it goes pretty deep. And you're already used to the customizer if you've used WordPress already anyways. They have this weird way of doing things where they have style stacks. They call them stacks. And so there's these 4 different style stacks, and each style stack will reveal different options here in the customizer of what you can customize. This theme is going to be a little heavier than other themes if you haven't noticed already, because there's so many options in it. So if that matters to you, but you've got all kinds of options here with typography, buttons, pretty much everything you're going to be able to customize in here the WordPress way in the interface that you are already used to. So those are some of the things I like so far. Now I want to show you what is different about this X Pro theme, and this might also have some of these in the normal X theme, but this is really this new thing that I've noticed. It's this option here that says launch. So once you click on launch, it's going to take you to a whole new screen, and everything you've ever learned or experienced or have become comfortable and familiar with WordPress goes right out the window as soon as you click on the launch button, because none of this looks at all like WordPress. None of it behaves at all like WordPress. Everything you've known about WordPress, every interface, how everything is laid out, just went completely out the window. It's all brand new here. I actually think that's a serious negative. And let me just talk on that for a minute. I don't want to spend my life learning new interfaces. If I want to make a custom header, I don't want to spend an hour and a half watching a video on how to make a custom header. I want to use the interface that I'm already used to. So I'm going to show you trying to make a custom header in a moment, and you're going to see how ridiculous it is. But they've already built this great page builder called Cornerstone. I don't understand why they didn't take that user interface and kind of use that for this header builder. And that's exactly what Beaver Builder's doing, as a matter of fact. They're going to make it so you can make custom headers, but you're using the Beaver Builder interface that you're already used to. So anyways, that is something to think about. So now we've got these 5 different options here. Now, you can click in each one. You can jump back and forth by clicking this here. It's those same options right there. So let's just take a look at some of these, and at any point you can click exit to go to the dashboard. So here's the theme options, and essentially what this is a lot of the same options you saw in the customizer. They allow you to get it in this totally not WordPress area that they've created. And so it's essentially a lot of that, but there's I still think the customizer is better, because there's a lot of things in the customizer that you may want to access that aren't here, like your site title and custom CSS and stuff like that. Well, I guess you could put it in this little one that they have here. So let me jump out of the theme options, and now I will jump into templates. So here's what templates is. Now I'm wondering, first of all, the word templates just doesn't make any sense to me why they would call this templates. And I'm kind of surprised they created this whole separate option for just two things here. So you click on templates, and this allows you to basically install some fonts on your theme. And I created this font here. I added this Google font right here, and I set the weights for it. Let me go back, and then you can also do the same thing for colors. I'm just so surprised they have a whole separate section in this non-WordPress thing to just add these two little things. So my guess would be that, I'm sure they planned this out well, that they're going to add some more things here, but the word templates doesn't even make any sense to me. Why? Like, I wouldn't click on this and think I'm going to find the font option and the color option right here. So they totally missed the mark on a lot of these things, and this is definitely one of them from a user experience standpoint. So let's take a look at headers, and this is actually, you know what, I'm going to jump to content, and then I'm going to go to headers first. So I'm going to jump into the content option, and essentially what this does is it allows you to see a list of your pages or posts like this, and then you can do some editing in them. So I was playing around with this right here. So if I click on edit, right here, it's going to pull up this particular page, and then I can jump into this Cornerstone page builder. So that's what that C thing flipping around was. That's this Cornerstone page builder. And I gotta say, the page builder is okay. I did use it when they first released it about a year ago. It would not be my number, not even in my top 5 pick of page builders that I would choose to use, but it's an okay page builder. I find it not as intuitive as the other page builders that I've used, Beaver Builder and Elementor, and even Divi. I just find this a lot less intuitive and a lot more steep of a learning curve. So when I buy a new tool, especially if it's going to be the cornerstone of my business, it's funny how they call it Cornerstone. I want my learning curve to be like this, right? You know, but this is like a learning curve like this. I want to be able to get a lot of it done without having to watch training videos and read documentation and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, when you want to dig deep, you need to do those things anyway, but just I never really felt comfortable in this page builder, and I did give it a shot. I did build an entire landing page with it, but I just think there's much better page builders out there than the Cornerstone page builder. But it's just like any page builder. You have a section here, and then you can have multiple columns in your section, and you can click right here, and it's the elements, and you just essentially drag and drop it in wherever you want like that. And you have it, and then you can click on it, and then you can put some information for that element that you just dragged and dropped in there. So it's all pretty standard. So anyways, this is the content. So and you can still create content the normal way by going to page, add new, give it a title, and then click on a button to jump into this Cornerstone Builder. One of the things I think is that I don't like here is, let me get rid of that real quick. I can't really modify some of these, or maybe I can and I just haven't found the setting for it. I can't modify some of the things about this page. So if I wanted to make it full width, I don't see an option to do that in here. So it just seems like pointless to jump into this page editor from within this new area of this theme. So anyways, I'm going to go back and let's talk about headers. So it's just warning me I didn't save it. That's fine. I'm going to click on yes, proceed, and I'm going to just jump into the header area. Now I do believe, before I say anything, that the ability to make custom headers, advanced custom headers, is the holy grail of web design and custom web design. It's the holy grail to make your website not look like a WordPress website. It really lies in the header, which is the first thing that people see on your page. And I got to say that pretty much most themes are completely failing in this area. And it's not the themes, it's just that next evolution of building a website with WordPress is now hitting those areas like the header and the footer. And so I really got to commend them for seeing that this is something that people do need, people do want, and trying to take a crack at it. But I really believe they missed the mark in taking a crack at it because it's just insanely complicated. Insanely complicated. Yes, I said that twice. It's insanely complicated to build a header with this thing. It's insane. So, okay, we go to create header, and they do have some template ones here, I guess. So if I want, let me just choose default header like this. So when I choose it, I get a little bouncing thing here. And so this is your default header. So this is cool. I've got this. Now, in a moment, I'm going to show you creating one from a blank slate. So let's see here. What do I do now? I have played with this a little bit, just so you know. So, but what do I do now? Okay, so I've got these two things here. They say unassigned. I don't know. Let me click on this one here. I'll just click on edit like this. And so now I get my bouncy thing. And now I've got a whole new interface here that I've never used before. And now my header actually looks totally different than it did before. That could have been because of me. But anyways, so we've got this bar area here. So I think that's the, if you wanted a top bar, a middle, and a bottom, or however many you wanted. So I guess in this example, this would be 3 bars. We got this one, and this one right here. So that's your bars. And then you have containers in the bars. And then in your containers, you have elements. So it's kind of hokey, in my opinion. So, okay, so this is a container, and I've got this image. So I guess that's this container right here, the logo image. And then in this container right here, I've got the navigation, and I've got this button and that button, and then something else. I don't even see an option there. Okay, check out how crazy this navigation is. I'm going to click on this hourglass, which is usually the icon for searching for something. So I wouldn't look at that and think that's what I click on to actually edit anything, but that's what they chose. So here we are, and I don't know, am I in Photoshop with 50,000 settings or what? I mean, I'm only in one section of this element. I don't even know how far away I am from where I started, and there's an option here. It's just way overly complicated here, and I've got options here which reveal different options there, and it's just, by the way, there's this sliding thing on the bottom. It's just insane, everything that's here. I just don't even know where to begin with this. And I know I'm being critical here. I'm kind of doing it to prove a point that this new feature to make a custom header and to make a custom footer, I almost think it would be easier to take a course on PHP and CSS and on JavaScript and whip up your own header with custom code than it's going to be to really dig in and wrap your mind around all these crazy settings that they're giving you to do this. And I think this is kind of your classic example of letting a developer just go and develop whatever without, I was following the development of this, just so you know, and I just can't imagine them showing this to their user base and them saying, oh man, this is the greatest interface. I mean, this is so simple and easy to use. I think right now, I value, professionals value, newcomers, non-techies, we all value simplicity, and this is the furthest thing from simplicity. A perfect example is Photoshop. I have Photoshop. I never use Photoshop. I actually hate Photoshop. I use this easier graphic editing plugin or program on my Mac. And there's also this new crop of web-based, easier to use graphic editors because Photoshop has a gajillion settings, and I don't want to spend the time to wrap my mind around that so that I can get done what I need to get done, if that makes sense. So I just think this is insane what they've done here. Like, I don't even know. Okay, so I think I'm getting back. Okay, now I'm clicking on headers and I'm getting back. Maybe this is the one I just created. I don't know. I don't even get this whole thing personally. Now, obviously, if I had 3 hours to spend on this, I could stop and I can figure this out, and I could probably make some cool stuff on it. And I'm pretty good at figuring things out. I'm pretty sure I would be able to do that in 3 or 4 hours, learn how to use this. The point is, I don't want to spend 3 or 4 hours to learn how to use this. It should be intuitive enough that after 10 minutes, I can do something kind of decent. So anyways, that is this new header and footer thing here. I don't need to go into footers. It's going to be the same thing as the header, but I want to talk about this just for a brief moment. So I want to just address who this should be for and who this shouldn't be for. And you can put yourself in either of those categories. So from the standpoint of the end user, the non-technical, or just the end user, someone that wants a website, they want a really nice website. I mean, people don't raise their hand and say, I want an ugly website. So the person who wants a nice website, they don't want to make this their career. I would encourage you to most likely avoid the X theme and go ahead and also avoid the X Pro. There are better tools out there. I think for you, a much better combination would either be the GeneratePress theme, which is free, but they have a premium package for $40, or the Ocean theme. That is free. They have a little add-on package too that's inexpensive. And then get yourself a page builder, an easier to use page builder like Elementor, which is free, or Beaver Builder, which they have a free version, but you're really going to want the paid version of Beaver Builder, and they've got very large communities behind them. If you're just starting out, I think GeneratePress and Elementor is a great way to go. Now I want to address if you are a website developer or an agency. Now for you, there's a lot of things to consider. Number one, the cost. This is going to cost you a lot more money than going with another solution. So that would be maybe picking up Beaver Builder with the included theme. It's $199 and you can install it on unlimited sites. So with that scenario, once you've sold your third website, you've already kind of broken even with Beaver Builder. And every site you make after that is going to be included under your license. And this is also nice because it kind of, if you want it, it maintains that relationship with you and your client to get them on a maintenance plan, which if you're developing websites for people, you really should be getting people on a maintenance plan. Now, obviously, if you're a website developer, you should be able to buy a tool and sit there and learn the tool and invest the time, because you're going to get a higher rate of return if you spend your 4 hours mastering this, and then you can make some really nice custom headers. However, I think the costs makes it not worth it as much in my mind. If you are a web developer and creating a custom header and footer is something that you want to be doing for your clients, there are existing options already with the tools that you might already be used to. So for example, on the Beaver Builder side of things, they're releasing something called Beaver Themer. Beaver Themer is going to allow you to create custom headers and footers, and it's also going to allow you to do way more than that. That's just maybe 10% of what it's going to allow you to do. But the beauty of that is you don't have to learn a whole new interface in order to make a header and a footer. If you're already familiar with Beaver Builder, which takes 5 minutes to understand and learn how to use, you're going to be making headers in 5 minutes, real custom headers. And there's already ways of doing that already without Beaver Themer. There's a plugin out there that will allow you to make a custom header for several themes. I think it's, if you just search for Beaver Builder in the WordPress repository, I think it's Beaver Header and Footer, something like that. And the same folks that make that also make the same thing for Elementor. So if you have a site using Elementor and say GeneratePress, you can get this free plugin, and then you can use Elementor in order to make your custom header. I just think where they dropped the ball was they felt the need to build a whole new interface for creating a header and a footer when they already have been training their customers for years on this interface called Cornerstone, their page builder. I just don't understand why they wouldn't have used Cornerstone so they don't have to have their customers learn a whole new interface, a whole new 50 million settings, and get comfortable in a whole new way of doing things when they could have just used the Cornerstone Builder, which I think would have been a lot smarter way to go. Now, I will give them some credit. It's very powerful, this ability to use this tool to create a custom header and footer, but you just have to answer the question, are you willing to invest hours to figure it out? And also it comes at a higher cost than you would typically get with other GPL themes and plugins and page builders. And so for me, honestly, I understand it's not GPL. I don't like how restrictive it is that you can only install it one time. And I think if they made it GPL, if they would have used the Cornerstone Builder so you don't have to master two interfaces, and if they had a more web developer friendly plan, this would be something to look at. But right now, if I was you, I would instead maybe take a look at Beaver Builder or some of the higher end packages that they have over for Elementor. I'll put links to everything I've talked about down below. Now, I know this is one of those video reviews where I'm probably going to get a lot of thumbs down and a lot of comments criticizing me. I'm expressing my opinions, and in no way are my opinions the law. I'm just expressing my opinion about this and some things for you to think about. And I'm happy if you made it to this video. If you're considering purchasing X or X Pro, I'm glad that you are looking to see if this is going to be a good fit for you, because it's hard to know on the surface if this is going to be a good fit for you. And also, if you're a web development agency, you're trying to find out, is this going to be the tool that you invest your time into in order to earn income in your web development business? So those are my opinions. I encourage you to share your opinions constructively down below. Just don't hit me with the thumbs down, but actually you hit me with the thumbs up or a thumbs down. It helps me on YouTube anyway. But I would just like to hear your thoughts about the X theme, the Cornerstone Builder, or the X Pro theme, and this new interface that they've developed that is totally different from WordPress, anything you've ever experienced in WordPress, but allows you to build these powerful headers and footers. So if you could go ahead and add your take on this in the comment section down below.